What's up guys, this is 9 Lives, and people are complaining about the sniper rifles in Call of Duty again. Let's talk about that.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I seen somebody like 9 Lives make a video the other day. You making snipers as easy and as convenient to use is making the game almost unplayable. They need to nerf snipers.
They need to nerf snipers. They need to nerf snipers.
That's how we do.
So every year, and usually right around this time, a certain subset of players start complaining about the sniper rifles in the new Call of Duty game. It's very predictable. It's also kind of ridiculous, but I like to make these videos to kind of offer my perspective as someone who really only uses sniper rifles when they play this game. This video being a rare exception where you'll see me using some other guns a little bit. The last time I made a video where I was not sniping was back in 2014, so about 3 years ago. And the whole point of that video was I was kind of fed up with people still complaining about sniper rifles being overpowered, which again, it happens every year, even way before this. And I just wanted to post a video to show what it looks like when somebody who snipes 99% of the time uses a regular gun. And what it boils down to is, despite all the complaining from people who don't snipe and all the people saying that sniping is overpowered, anybody who snipes will get a significantly higher score per minute, kill to death ratio, and they'll win more games if they use an SMG or an assault rifle, if they use a weapon that is actually part of the meta. And by part of the meta, I mean something that a competitive player would actually use. If you watch competitive Call of Duty World War II, they're not running around with sniper rifles quickscoping all the time. They're using the bar, they're using the FG42, they're using the PPSH. They almost never touch the sniper rifles. So how can you argue that it's overpowered when anybody who snipes would be doing better with the other guns in the game? And when money's on the line in a competitive Call of Duty tournament like ESL or MLG or UMG or Call of Duty World League, those competitive players who play the game for a living professionally are rarely using the sniper rifles. I believe that Sledgehammer Games understands this, because if you go to their YouTube channel, and by the way, they are the developers of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Call of Duty World War II, they make the games. If you go to their YouTube channel, you can scroll down and guess what? They left a like on my previous video like this, 100 kill rampage in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. That's where I was saying, you know what, look, it's significantly easier to use an SMG or an assault rifle, and I'm someone who snipes like 99.9% of the time. Now, it didn't always used to be like this. The lead multiplayer designer at Infinity Ward, who made Call of Duty Ghosts, replied to a video that I made kind of like this back in Call of Duty Ghosts and said, at one point in this video, the speaker is 11-1 using a USR in Dome, which is the smallest map in the game. So I actually responded to that in Patch Rant Part 2. The video he was talking about was Patch Rant Part 1, but Patch Rant Part 2 is the first time that I started using regular guns in my videos to try and make the point that, okay, regular guns are a lot easier to use. And that's why nowadays, like if I'm revisiting this topic now, as you can see, I'm using the Tommy gun, I'll use the bar a little bit, stuff like that, because I don't want people to be able to argue that, you know, just because I'm doing well with the sniper rifle means that they're overpowered. That's ridiculous. You can't just look at like a sniper montage and say, this is evidence that sniper rifles are overpowered. That makes no sense. So what I've said so far is just the tip of the iceberg, and we're going to be going a lot more in depth into this, so buckle up. But I just want to say before moving on that I want this to be somewhat of an interactive video where you can leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I do read every single comment that I get on my channel, and if you're a subscriber of mine, you might notice that I've been liking your comments or I reply to you quite a bit. I really do make an effort to read every single comment. Even if you are going to oppose my perspective that I make in this video and the points that I make in this video, leave a comment and we'll talk about it. I'd love to hear your best argument. And I would encourage everybody to jump in and reply to comments in the comment section down below. Just try not to be dicks to each other, because at the end of the day, we're talking about a video game here that we're all trying to play for fun. So anyways, I recently saw Xclusive Ace's video called "Is Quickscoping Too Good in COD World War II?" In that video, he argued that quickscoping is overpowered because when you quickscope with the Kar 98K, the practical time to kill is 340 milliseconds, so that's the same as the scope in speed. Basically, if you scope in as fast as you can and then you take your shot, it takes 340 milliseconds to kill the opponent. Whereas with the STG-44, if you aim down sights and then shoot the enemy, it takes 520 milliseconds to get the kill, as you can see in this screenshot. So I thought this was super refreshing because a lot of people who debate about quickscoping and say that it's overpowered, I feel like are just being emotional about it and they just don't like getting quickscoped and there's not a whole lot of logic behind it. This is the first time that I've seen somebody actually use numbers to try and make their point. But even with the numbers that he has here, I still disagree. Please keep in mind that even though I disagree with some things that developers say sometimes or some things that YouTubers say sometimes, I still respect them as people. We're just talking about a video game. Please don't flame them in their comment sections of their videos or on Twitter or anything like that. So jumping back to this Gibraltar bar gameplay here, this is a 30 gun streak, by the way, where I'll get a V2 rocket. Let's look at how long it's taken to kill people. So I just freeze framed this. I've got a timer in the bottom right. I was already ADS here, so it took 0.067 seconds to register that kill. He was already damaged, so I only had to put one bullet on him, but if I was quickscoping, it would have taken a minimum of 0.34 seconds in order to get that kill, because by definition, I'd only be scoping in when I'm ready to shoot. Moving on to the next targets here, I'm gonna get this kill in 0.284 seconds, and then the next one in 0.05 seconds. Now I'm only counting from when the first bullet leaves my gun to the time the red crosshair comes up to indicate the kill. The reason for that is because if you're using an assault rifle or an SMG, you should already be ADS before you're ready to shoot. If you're quickscoping, you're not going to be ADS before you're ready to shoot because that would defeat the purpose of quickscoping. ADS, by the way, means aiming down sights. So let's move on to some of the next kills here. This one is going to be 0.284 seconds. Not enough time for somebody to scope in with a Kar 98K, which is the fastest scoping sniper rifle in the game. And then this next kill here, it's going to be 0.267 seconds. Again, not enough time for a sniper rifle to scope in. Now I'm gonna slow down this next engagement here and show you another benefit that assault rifles and SMGs have, and that is mobility. So I actually end up getting outnumbered here. There's two enemies in front of me and I'm able to evade while shooting. So I'm continuing to apply pressure and I'm strafing to the left at the same time, and then I come back out when I'm ready to get that kill. When you're quickscoping or otherwise using a sniper rifle, you're much more committed to every gunfight because if you're familiar with quickscoping or familiar with sniping, you're gonna wanna be stationary while you take the shot. I am always moving the entire time I'm shooting when I'm using an SMG or an assault rifle, because that is just a huge benefit that you have with these types of weapons. So as we get into this next gunfight here, I'm already ADS before I see the enemy, I'm strafing to the left while I'm shooting, and it takes 0.267 seconds to get that kill. Again, if the enemy was a quickscoper, they would have needed a minimum of 0.34 seconds to even take a shot. And that's if they shoot as fast as they possibly can. I'm talking about with the Kar 98K, which is the fastest scoping in sniper rifle in the game. The Springfield is slower, the other sniper rifles are slower, so even with the fastest sniper rifle in the game, if my opponents were trying to quickscope me here, they would not even have enough time to get their shot off. So somebody who might want to debate against this point would say probably that, you know, sometimes I miss a bunch of bullets, I don't always have good accuracy, like I could miss like half my bullets sometimes, or maybe more than half my bullets or whatever, when I'm using an SMG or an assault rifle. With that in mind, consider that a sniper rifle only has one shot in order to get the kill, especially in a close quarter situation. If you miss your quickscope, especially close quarters, but even at medium and longer ranges, you're pretty much done. You don't really have enough time. Oh, look at this guy, just jumps off the map. You don't really have enough time to take a second shot. You can't really recover from missing a shot when you're quickscoping. At least the enemy should not allow you to do that. There's no way, because all they have to do is continue spraying and they should get the kill. That's while you're pulling your bolt back on the sniper rifle. And speaking of pulling bolts back on sniper rifles, there's no semi-automatic sniper rifles in this game. They're all bolt action, except for the carbine or whatever, which nobody uses because it's too weak and it's just not relevant. So especially in Call of Duty World War II, it makes no sense to argue that the sniper rifles are overpowered because they're not even as good as they have been in previous Call of Duty games. There's no semi-automatic sniper rifle that has a fast fire rate. They all have bolts that you need to pull back. And there's also no aim assist on the sniper rifles in this game, unless you use the Mountain Division, which allows you to hold your breath, and when you hold your breath you get some aim assist, but that's not relevant to quickscoping because if you're quickscoping you're not going to be holding your breath, you're just going to be aiming in and taking the shot. So essentially for quickscoping purposes there's no aim assist on the sniper rifles. One exception to that would be the Lee Enfield, but the Lee Enfield really sucks. It has aim assist but nobody uses it because it just sucks. So we're talking about the Springfield and the Kar 98K, the guns that people actually use for quickscoping, and there's no aim assist. I don't even use the Mountain Division anymore. I'm using the Infantry Division because it allows you to have an extra attachment. I find that more useful. So I really don't think anybody is benefiting from aim assist when it comes to like making montages and actually effectively running around in quickscoping. And speaking of effectively running around in quickscoping, Quickscoping is not actually effective if you're playing players of equal skill. As you saw in my breakdown of some of the kills in this match where I get a V2 rocket and a 30 gun streak with the bar, there's not even enough time to zoom in and take a shot with the Kar 98K. I'm not giving these guys enough time. So as a general rule, if you've died to somebody who quickscoped you, you screwed up. You can only really get away with consistently quickscoping if the enemy team is giving you the opportunity to do so. It's rare to see a sniper rifle in a competitive Call of Duty match with pro players, but here's Optic Formal getting a sniper ace against Envious in a match of Search and Destroy on Gibraltar. It looks a lot different than something you'd usually see in a sniper montage. He's going to be holding angles and staying scoped in and waiting for enemies to show up, because that way, his effective time to kill is essentially 0. All he needs to do is take the shot and the opponent's dead. He doesn't have to wait for the scope to come up. It goes without saying that Optic Formal is an exceptionally good sniper. He's a professional Call of Duty player. He's on Optic. You know he's an amazing player, but he's staying scoped in, because when he stays scoped in, his effective time to kill is essentially 0. He can take the shot as soon as the enemy is in his scope. He doesn't need to wait for the scope in. That means that the enemies getting sniped are not getting the benefit of the 0.4 second scope in delay. And even with the ability to stay scoped in like Formal was doing there, sniper rifles are still extremely rare in competitive Call of Duty. The guns that get used the most by far are the BAR, the FG42, and the PPSH. Now, I hope I've convinced some of you guys that quickscoping is not actually overpowered in Call of Duty World War II. It's been in tons of previous Call of Duty games, and it's essentially the same this year as it always has been. If anything, it's a little bit harder. But with that being said, players are still going to complain and complain and complain about quickscoping in Call of Duty just like they do every year, and I think what it boils down to is they just don't like it. And there's not really a super logical reason. Maybe they just find it annoying. But we need to find some sort of solution for those players, because if they're just pissed off all the time, that's no good for anyone. So my proposed solution would be probably to add a snipers only playlist to this game that is permanent, not just a rotating weekend one like we saw in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. That would reduce some of the snipers and quickscopers in the regular playlist, so the players who don't like sniping will just see snipers less frequently. And I think before Sledgehammer Games considers doing any sort of tweak or balancing update to the sniper rifles in this game, they should consider reducing the sprint out time for SMGs and assault rifles. So make it so you can pull up your gun faster from a sprint. The sprint out time in this game seems to be quite a bit longer than some other Call of Duty games, and I think it makes aiming down sights as you're moving around the map with SMGs and assault rifles more of a necessity than usual. So I think for those players who use the SMGs and assault rifles, they'll have a little bit more freedom to move around the map without ADSing all the time if the sprint out time was reduced, and that will actually make quickscoping less disruptive for them. So if you enjoyed this video, please take 2 seconds to leave a like. It only takes 2 seconds and it helps me out a lot. There's some videos on the screen now that you can check out if you have some time to watch more. And don't forget to leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts, whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, and you can talk about it with other people commenting down there as well. And I'll see you guys soon with a new video. Peace.